It is in Sport Plus mode, which is the stiffest with these adaptive dampers. The steering is noticeably stiffer here in this Sport Plus mode as well. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to be talking a whole lot here. Hard onto the brakes with these Brimbos. Oh man. Oh, I caught up to the F-150. It didn't take me long. All right, so what do I think about the Acura Integra Type S so far? Just driving it here for about 35 minutes, and it's just gonna get better and as I get more comfortable with this vehicle. Well, it's really easy to drive, just like the Type R, which means it's even easier to drive than the A-Spec Integra with a 6-speed manual, and it's also easier to drive than, let's say, something like the Civic Si. I'm going to crank the AC up. I just love the functionality here and the ease of use of the climate control and this Acura. It's awesome. Now the gearbox is pure Honda Gold. Use Acura Gold as well, right? It's one and the same. But this thing is such a joy to roll through the gears with. Just though, there's a Type S there. Oh, I think that might have been the Topher coming down the hill. And this exhaust, you know, it sounds good. I'll say that. I think it sounds better than the Type R quite a bit. You get a little bit of pop and bang going on. It's not as aggressive as I like it. I want it as completely raw as possible. I feel like I'm getting a lot of engine noise in here, more so than exhaust noise. The Acura took out the resonator compared to the Type R, and it is louder in here for sure, but I want more. I want more. Gosh, I wish I had roads like this in Florida. Oh, here we go. So much grip, it's ridiculous. It has more grip than I'm willing to push on a public road, which is quite impressive. These tires are so sticky. They're brand new too, so they might be a little bit oily, but we got a bike holding up a Prius, holding up a truck, holding up two Type S Integras here. So the top speed on this car, believe it or not, is 167 miles per hour. Typically you see cars limited to around 155 miles an hour. It's just, the gears are pretty long. And so the rev matching downshifts aren't quite as satisfying as they are, I think, in the Civic Si, for example. I mean, the great thing also about this K20C engine with over 300 pound-feet of torque is if you don't want to shift, you really don't have to in these winding mountain roads. I know I'm stuck behind a Prius anyways, but I'm just tooling around and like I'm just going to put in the 6th gear and let's see if it pulls us up the hill. Going 36 miles an hour, I'm not even full throttle, I'm just keeping up here, and this is a very aggressive grade. That clutch is very forgiving. Yeah, baby. Really likes to give you those pops and backfires between gears, especially when you're upshifting. I feel like I don't hear it as much when I'm downshifting. But would I pick this over a Type R? My goodness. Well, I think it really just comes down to availability. Whatever one comes up first, I would say. They drive both so similar. This one is a little bit more relaxed, I would say, especially from the seating perspective. I love the Type R seats. They really hug you and make you feel like you're ready to rock and roll for track duty. This doesn't feel that much different than the normal Integra. Yes, the bolstering, the foam is a little bit stiffer in here, but honestly, I don't really notice it. Here on the highway with the Type S, even though these roads are pretty crummy, in comfort mode with the, you know, the softened dampers, like, I'm pretty happy and comfortable in here. It's not overly loud either. You get a little bit of tire noise coming on, but in comfort mode, like the active exhaust is on shutdown mode, and I really am not hearing a whole lot from the engine or the exhaust back there. Safety features are top notch from Honda and Acura, so I have blind spot monitor, radar cruise control, lane keep assist, that all works great. Just don't forget that you're driving a manual transmission with radar cruise control. And driving here from about 55 to 65 miles an hour, I'm seeing about 35 miles per gallon, not quite like the 40 miles per gallon you can get doing 75 miles an hour with the standard Integra. But I'm sure people who are getting this Type S are not really concerned about fuel economy. I do wish though I had like ventilated seats in here. I wish I had vents for the back seat. I wish I had more USB chargers for the backseat since there are none. But the tech in here is great. I love the head-up display. This screen is really easy to get to. Everything else in here is absolutely bang on, and I love the ELS audio in here as well. But part of me also wishes there was a sunroof at least as an option in here. But at least I have additional headroom and speakers up on the roof. Now in this segment, this is the only vehicle that has a manual transmission. That is a big benefit. Is it also a drawback since there's no automatic option here? Possibly. It depends on the person. I think the volume is going to be low enough really to cater towards enthusiasts who want to road their own gear. So the manual transmission only is not that big of a deal for me. A little part of me wishes there was super handling all-wheel drive, but we know it adds a lot of weight to the TLX Type S, for example, with the super handling all-wheel drive. And if you need an automatic and super handling all-wheel drive, just get the TLX Type S. It doesn't cost a whole lot more than this. In terms of pure enjoyment, is this worth the money? About 15K over the A-Spec Integra, the A-Spec Advanced with a 6-speed manual, for example. And the answer for me is no. I honestly feel like I can get 90% of the enjoyment I get out of this car in the A-Spec Advanced package. The manual shifter is almost as good. The rev matching is just as good, and I get like 40 miles per gallon in the base Integra. And for me in Florida, I can't even throw these things around any turns, so straight line performance is really the only thing that matters. Yes, this is much faster, and I can still get pretty much all this technology that I have here on the Type S. It doesn't look as cool, still looks great in my opinion. It doesn't look as cool, it doesn't have the street cred as this vehicle. It's way slower, there's no denying that, but it's still fun to drive, and it's definitely a bargain compared to this vehicle at 15 grand less. In city traffic, it's just an absolute breeze. The clutch is very, very light. And yes, you can play the rev matching downshifts a little bit in town as well. The brakes, go figure, they're absolutely amazing. This car doesn't weigh a whole lot, so the brakes don't have to do a whole lot of work, but all the brake rotors have been upgraded compared to the standard Integra, and those Brembos up front do a great job bringing it to a stop. The clutch engagement is kind of near the top of the pedal. It's not my favorite place, but it's still like very predictable and easy to drive this thing in town. And it loves to be babied. I think this manual transmission likes to be babied more than it likes to be pushed really, really hard. I think most things are like that, right? No one wants to be pushed to their limit all the time. And this 6-speed manual, I actually enjoy driving this. That might sound crazy. I enjoy driving this just like slow speeds as much as I do at fast speeds. I like shifting around 3,000 RPM. It's just so buttery smooth. And unlike, you know, the Civic Si and the Integra A-Spec, It has much less like rev hang. It's much more predictable, and just you don't have a lot of resistance going on with like a lighter flywheel compared to those vehicles. So spending about 3 hours here in the Type S, I can now give you guys my final opinion until I get it for like about a week, then I can give it a full review. Here in California, being able to test this road on the twisties, it is absolutely an amazing machine. There's no doubt about it. The shifter is just so natural. The brakes, well, I actually haven't had to touch them a whole lot here in the canyons, but the brakes, when I slammed on them earlier, they're great. The steering is so natural in here. The shifting is so natural. This vehicle is an extension of oneself. It is incredible. Is it worth $52,000? That's up to you. And for me in Florida, where I can't throw this thing around the canyons, no, it's not worth it for me. I'd be happy with almost as good manual transmission in like the A-Spec Advanced package and save about 14-15 grand. But that's just me where I live. If I had nice roads like this, I would be saving my pennies for the Type S, because the suspension's so good. It sounds amazing. The shift, like everything about it from a driver's perspective is right on. There's nothing more that I want in terms of performance that this vehicle doesn't offer. It does everything I've asked it to, and I haven't even come close to testing this vehicle's limits. It's not safe to do it on the streets, but yeah, it's so good. It's worth the money, but I'd be happy spending less. So I'll see you guys in the comments. I love this car. I don't want to get out of it, but my fun's kind of been boiling to an end here because I'm stuck behind a Forester and another Subaru in front of it. It looks like an Outback, so whatever. Thank you guys for watching. Signing out from the Integra Type S Acura. Thank you for sending me out to California to drive this thing. With views like this and roads like this, like how could I not be happy? You could put me in a Nissan Versa and no, actually I would not be happy in that vehicle. This is a vehicle I want to be in for these roads, and man, has it been an unforgettable experience. Signing out from the all-new Acura Integra Type S. Have a great day. Peace out.